abductions, beatings, especially MDC members. A reign of terror was unleashed on that community. We know what the feeling on the ground is, and we are very confident as a party that the more they resort to this violence, the more they are alienating the voters of Zimbabwe. Because the people of Zimbabwe are concerned about food, which this government has failed to supply. They are concerned about the collapsing economy, which this government has destroyed. They are concerned about their personal security and safety, which this government is continuously undermining. So as far as we are concerned, we are on the side of the people.
Change is not for Robert Mugabe, the change is for the people of Zimbabwe.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Leader Stella, I sent you a message to repeat that one again so that some people are saying, repeat, can you please play again that video? It's too short.
How about you just give an introduction of what it is, then I'll play it again.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, viewers and listeners. Yes, we are back again. Mamuka say, Maskwera say, Murie Zimbabwe, kumativi mana ese enyika tadzoka zvakare news review sesipendukile njalo mntu akazomuhle lichona njani emagumbini amane wonke omhlaba kwele Zimbabwe sesipendukile news review lapho esilinika khona indaba ebezichisa iviki yonke liphathelwa yi-Change Radio lezim-I angihambi ngedwa ngihamba namhla i-Women's League ngihamba lo leader Sophie lo leader Estella anzi women empowerment women power yes murisei tadzoka nasi 27 June izuva rinosuvisa zvikuru I hope tese tichikurangarira 27 June 2008 apo Robert Gabriel Mugabe akamhanya ega mu-election after adyiwa zvinotyisa zvine mutsindo na the late president Richard Morgan Tsvangirai. Saka nhasi uno tiri kurangarira vanhu vakatisiya musi wa27 June 2008 nevakakuwara zvanga zvisina kuchipa. Ndofunga vazhinji vanobvumirana neni kuti it was not okay. People lost their lives. Vanhu vakagurwa maoko kwankuine short sleeve, long sleeve. Vanhu vakapiswa. Today we remember those cadres. Those are our heroes and our heroines. Vamwe vakapisirwa misha. Zvanga zvakashata. Our viewers and listeners, how are you wherever you are? Today being the 27th of June, we remember our cadres who were killed by ZANU PF after Robert Mugabe ran a race, a one-man's race after he was beaten heavily by the late President Richard Morgan Tsvangirai in the 2008 elections. We all know that Tsvangirai won by 73%, which even Robert Mugabe later confirmed that Tsvangirai had won by 73%. Let's see what exactly happened on these elections in June 27, 2008. Thank you.
abductions, beatings, especially MDC members. A reign of terror was unleashed on that community. We know what the feeling on the ground is, and we are very confident as a party that the more they resort to this violence, the more they are alienating the voters of Zimbabwe. Because the people of Zimbabwe are concerned about food, which this government has failed to supply. They are concerned about the collapsing economy, which this government is destroying. They are concerned about their personal security and safety, which this government is continuously undermining. So as far as we are concerned, we are on the side of the people.
Change is not for Robert Mugabe, the change is for the people of Zimbabwe.
Yes. Thank you so much, our viewers and listeners. We are broadcasting live on Change Radio and Zim I. Let's not also forget that our leaders, Morgan Tsvangirai and Nelson Chamisa, were also beaten heavily during this time. So we are seeing these things continuing again in the Mnangagwa regime. So the fight or the struggle is still on. What happened in 2008 is still happening even today. So we mourn with the families of the deceased. We are together with those that were injured. Vakagurwa maoko, ma short sleeves, ma long sleeves. We are together. Tine vanhu vari zvirema. So this struggle is not a struggle yekutamba nayo. Tine urombo chaizvo nevanhu vari kutengesa, vachitengesa struggle nenyaya yekuda kupfuma iwo pachavo, vachikanganwa kuti kune vanhu vakafira this struggle, kune vanhu vakakuwarira this struggle. So tinoti aluta continue, ngatienderere mberi nenews dzedu dzanhasi. Over to you, Leader Sophie. You can tell the viewers what's in store for them today. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, dear Power platform. We welcome you, our viewers and listeners from all over the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our weekly news review, where we look at topics that made the headlines this past week. And this evening, we'll be looking at several topics, interesting topics. So I invite you to stay tuned with us as we dissect the topics. We'll be looking at the over 1,000 houses that were demolished in MELFORT in near Marodera. We're talking about apprentices to do with diaspora and board. We're also going to be talking about constitution prohibiting vendors from conducting their businesses if they have not had a COVID-19 vaccination. We'll be talking about the alarming spike in COVID-19, unfortunate spike in the COVID-19 infections. We're also going to be looking at the ARTUZ, the Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union of Zimbabwe, the protest hashtag burn abroad. We'll also be looking at the MDC Alliance, how they will planning and what is in store when it comes to the ZANU regime in the rural areas. We'll be looking at research advocacy units on the violence in Zimbabwe. We're also going to be talking about that are being denied getting IDs in order for them to write on A-level examinations. We'll be commemorating the 2008 terror on civilians by ZANU, as Barbara has given us an introduction. We'll also be looking at an lighter side on the comic master weighing in his beef, the beef between the Holy Ten and the Enzo Winshaw dropping his own hit song, Haina Mambo. We'll also be looking at in-house issues as well, including death notices. And finally, we'll be closing with album launch from our very own Mazzore, launch his new album, and Lida Barbara will also take us to that. But for the time being, Lida Barbara, I think I would like maybe, no, Lida Barbara, Lida Estella, can I invite you to talk to us about the demolitions in Melbourne?
Oh yes, thank you, Leader Sophie. Before I move on to our demolitions in MELFORT, maybe we could read a few comments from our viewers. I'll just go through
Leader
the ones that I just greeted.
Estella, can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Leader Sophia?
Okay, maybe we can come
Leader Barbara,
back to that. Leader Barbara, could you take us through the diaspora vote fiasco and the comments by Patrick Chamasa?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I can't hear Leader Barbara.
Cause they were after us. Anzi na Martha Magwaba, Anzi the voice we can't hear proper. Murape Poshia Violet saying can't hear you, my dear. So I think we need to fix our gadgets. Maybe there is an echo. I also Anzi na Emmanuel Nyakonda unmute, and this is Diana mute. Unmute. Can you hear us? Please give us my likes, nema loves, kana my love, nema likes, kana muchitinzwa properly, so that we improve our
Broadcast.
program. Yes, yes.
Barbara, can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yeah, now I can hear you clearly, Leader Estella.
All right.
Can we also share this widely? Yes, yes. Thank you so much. As you are on mute, who is on mute? Gogoanata inibere. I'm not on mute. Who is on mute? Someone is on mute. They are saying it's not clear, but I'm seeing my love, nema likes, meaning kuti. I think the voice projection is improved by now. Can we please share this video so that it reaches vanhu vakawanda? Let's share this video, our viewers and listeners. Hanzi nagogowana taakukunzwa. Thank you so much for the feedback. Yes, our leader Estella, you can go on to the demolitions in MELFORT.
Yes. We actually have a video from the MELFORT demolitions of a lady whose house, a beautiful house, was torn down. Allow me to play that video for you, then we can comment a little bit on those happenings. Yes. So, according to reports, over 1,000 homes were destroyed in MELFORT, a region that is near Marondera. And I have on the screen a letter. Unfortunately, you might not see it so clearly, but it is a letter from the government issuing permission for those tents to be developed for building accommodation for homes. And so it is tragic that the government which issued this permission to develop these tents today comes back and demolishes the houses on those tents, calling them illegal structures. Rumors have it that at the time that they issued this permission, it was towards elections, and it is believed that this permission was issued as a move to sort of buy votes. And so it is something very important for us to take note of how this ZANU PF government works. When they need your votes, they will come to you and they will sell you castles in the air. They will sell you land that is set aside for something else, knowing that you don't really get the full rights to that land. And then when they get what they want, they can always come back and turn against you, like a dog that bites the hand that feeds it. Another example of how evil this ZANU PF government is, because just in the recent weeks, they destroyed vendors' structures in Chitungwiza, in Bare, and in other places in Harare. And they choose to do that at a time when people are down and out. COVID has reduced people to extreme poverty. And for most people, those, vending is their only source of income at the moment, given that the same government destroyed the companies that, provided employment earlier. They took them under the name of indigenization and destroyed the companies. And today they come and they destroy the homes and the sources of living of the same people who they claim to govern. It's very clear what we need to do as a people. We don't need to allow these people to continue to claim to be our elected leaders. We need to stand up and let our voices be heard so that we choose the leaders that we want to lead us. Thank you. Over to you, Leader Sophie.
Do we still have Leader Sophie?
Yes.
Or maybe
she dropped and then she came back in. Okay, all right, there she is.
She's coming back.
Yes, she's in now, but she's muted. Let's see. There you go.
Over to you, Leader Sophie.
Oh, she's inaudible. Can you hear her, Leader Barbara?
No.
Now she's muted again. Okay, Leader Sophie. She's muted again.
Okay, let's move on. Leader Estella, let's move on. Our next topic today is on Patrick Chinamasa saying that the diaspora vote will never be granted because of sanctions. In his statement, ZANU-PF's acting commissar Patrick Chinamasa says Zimbabweans in the diaspora must not be allowed to vote in national elections as long as Western sanctions remain in place. And ZANU-PF must be allowed to campaign in those countries before diaspora vote is permitted. So these are what they are saying. and no diaspora vote if the sanctions are there, and remove the sanctions so that we can grant the diaspora vote, as if the diasporans are the ones that made the sanctions to be there. What they don't know is that ZANU PF asked for those sanctions. For the sanctions to be imposed in Zimbabwe is because of the human rights violations, is because of the non-implementation of reforms. As we are all aware, there are reforms that the government is supposed to initiate, and they are not reforming. And we all know that ZANU PF said, Jonathan Moyo said nemuromo wake chaiwo, hanzi ZANU PF is not gonna reform itself out of power. So kuti nyaya yemasanctions iri kupinda papi apa unozvishayirwa, because diaspora vote is a right that is enshrined in the constitution of Zimbabwe. So it's non-negotiable. A right is not negotiable. A right is demanded. A right is an inalienable entitlement that no one can ever try to brainwash or to hold someone to ransom, to say kana musina kuita izvi hatikupi izvi, as if tiri kuita zvekunyengerera kupiwa diaspora. Hatisi kuda kupiwa diaspora vote, but the diaspora vote is a right and it has to be implemented. It's a right and we will continue to demand it, whether Chinamasa anoda kana kuti haadi. Hanzi na Emmanuel Nyakonda, ZANU PF caused the sanctions. Why involve us? Exactly. Hanzi hamusi kuzovhota wana Emmanuel, hanzi hamusi kuzovhota, tangai mabvisa masanctions enyu ndokuti muvhote.
I think it just goes to show how little the people we have in leadership understand politics. Because if they think that they can arm twist Western countries to remove sanctions by withholding diasporans' rights to vote, it's very clear they don't understand how these things work. The only thing that can coerce these sanctions to be removed is that they reform. And they seem not to get it. They started with calling out, "Ngazviende, hatizvidi." They seem to really believe that that would do the trick. Then they went to erect the Mbuyane Handa statue. And now they have turned to arm twisting tactics. I think it's very clear how clueless the people we have in leadership are. Over to you, Leader Sophie.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Oh, thank you. Actually, it's very sad. We have very incompetent leadership. How can you say because we can't campaign?
You're breaking, Leader Sophie.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
You're breaking.
Hey. Today, can you hear me now?
Yes, I think your network keeps breaking out.
Okay, let me try. I'm logging again.
Or maybe remove the camera and remain with the audio.
Yeah, maybe that could help.
Yes, you can go on.
A comment from Wilbert Mukori. He says ZANU PF will never grant the diaspora vote because they cannot rig that vote. Very true.
That's very correct. That's very correct. And rigging will not be possible in the diaspora.
Yes. And their excuse that they need to campaign to the diasporans is just an excuse. They know that no matter how much they campaign, we are one group that's not coming into their corner.
Yes. That's what I was saying, Leader Estella, to say they know they will not grant diaspora vote because they know. I think there are more than 4 million people in diaspora, and I think those that can vote for ZANU PF, they are less than 20 here in the diaspora. So they know kuti vanokwapurwa and rigging won't be possible. Hanzi na Sister Melody Chikosha, they know they won't stand a chance if diasporans vote yes, because most of the people that are in the diaspora, they are here because they don't want, it's not they want to be here, they don't want to be here, they ran away from the poverty that is in Zimbabwe. So no one in his or her actual senses can vote for Robert Mugabe. And people in the diaspora, they are not gullible, so they know what they are doing, and you cannot even maybe threaten them like what they do with the rural folk. So it's very difficult to rig the diaspora vote. Yes, I really agree with the our viewers there. Thank you so much. As leader Sophie is connecting, I think we can move on to our next topic, Leader Estela.
Yes. The next topic on the list is CHIWENGA prohibits vending for those who have not been vaccinated. And for that, we have a video of Mr. Madzorera. Doctor.
Greetings to all Change Radio listeners. We note with great surprise the pronouncement by the Minister of Health and Child Care that those people who have not been vaccinated will not be able to do business in the marketplace. That's extremely unfortunate because there is no law in Zimbabwe that compels anybody to be vaccinated. People are vaccinated out of their own free will. Secondly, the government is the one that is failing to procure vaccines. Right now, people are even failing to access their second dose of vaccine because the government made a false promise that they would be importing 1 million doses of vaccine every month. They failed to do that. And so people are struggling to get vaccinated. People are going to the vaccination centers every day and being turned away. And they are told no one knows when the next vaccine lot will come. So let government take its responsibility and stop harassing people verbally. They have a responsibility to supply the vaccine. We can still reach herd immunity by vaccinating those who want to be vaccinated. There is no need to force anybody to be vaccinated.
Barbara, you're muted.
Alliance. Yeah, that's Dr. Madzorere there, the MDC Alliance Secretary for Health, castigating the Minister of Health, Comrade CHIWENGA, saying you can't force people to vaccinate because it has to be from the person's heart to say, I want to be vaccinated. It cannot be a forced matter. So what he said is utterly unconstitutional, and it's very irresponsible of what he said. You cannot force people to say, if you don't vaccinate, you will not get a store where you can sell your things. Like he was saying this to the people in the informal sector. So aungamanikidziwa kunobaiwa. And besides what he was saying, Leader Estella, to say kuti vaccine yachona haitoripo, and yet we are saying kuti no vaccination, no store. So that one is neither here nor there. It's a sign yekuti ZANU PF yapererwa. Vari kushaya kuti waita sei. That's why you see kuti every time they think that they're offering a solution, they are actually making it worse. They continue to violate the people's rights every day. At the end of the day, people are angered, get angry every day, and one day is one day. Hanzi nerimwe zuva hanzi gava richadumbura muswe, because this, I think it has get to its a point where people are saying enough is enough. ZANU-PF yapererwa, the government is clueless, does not know what to do. So the people shall rise and demand what is rightfully theirs.
Yes, Leader Barbara, there's someone commented there that ZANU-PF is a cult. And in connection with this story, there is a conspiracy theory, which I think is not a conspiracy theory, but is actually something that was predicted in the Bible, that there will come a time when those who do not have the mark of the beast will not be allowed to buy and sell. And the conspiracy theory goes that the mark of the beast is a chip which is being administered at the same time that people are receiving the vaccine. There have been many videos going around on social media where people are saying the mark of the beast is a chip which you receive with the vaccine. And so the coincidence that now he's saying if you are not vaccinated, you cannot buy or sell anything. To me, as someone who believes in God and believes in the Bible, it is a sure sign that this is the mark of the beast that was foretold in the Bible, that in the near future, it will be mandatory to have the chip. And with that chip, you can be identified and your information is stored in a central database and you can be monitored wherever you are. And then that's when the time comes when they will you will not be able to buy anything if you don't have that chip. And so my encouragement for all people is, if you don't believe in God, start doing serious research now. Try to understand really what it is that the Bible teaches, because there are many signs foretold in the Bible which have come to pass already. For those who know their Bible well, they have seen many of those signs coming to pass. If I may just show a few other comments by our readers. Leader Barbara, would you like to read them?
Yes, hanzi naRaymond Maisiri Chiwenga ngati tiremushe. Yes, kupenga chaiko Raymond, you are correct. Hanzi na Emmanuel Nyakonda, why rushing to announce crepe? Yes, that's crepe for sure. Another comment, hanzi confusion full blast. Yes. And in Assis Melody, they will end up saying all those who are not vaccinated will not vote. Ha ha, cry, my beloved country. Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. We are going to talk about this vote. We've got a topic on voting, so I think we are going to touch it on that one. I think this is coming, considering what they did. And knowing what we know now, I think it will be said to discourage our people from being vaccinated. Yes, we are not discouraging Kendo. We are saying people should be vaccinated, and at the same time, Chiwenga must not punish people, those that are not vaccinated, because in the first place, the vaccine is not there. And remember, the government had promised to say they will be bringing 1 million vaccines a month, and then nothing of that sort has been fulfilled. So you can't say now they kuti kana usina kubaiwa auwani musika iro jekiseni racho riripo here in the first place. Look at other developing countries like here in the UK. I think the first jab, they now around 90% people have been vaccinated. And the second jab, around 50% have been vaccinated. So you can see, these countries, they mean what they say. And then no law has been passed to say if you have not been vaccinated, you are not going to go to work, or if you have not been vaccinated, you are not going to maybe travel. There's nothing like that. But we see in Zimbabwe, they are now using this COVID thing to further suppress the voices, to further suppress the people, to violate their rights, violate their freedom of expression, freedom of association. They are taking advantage of this COVID. That's why you're seeing even block elections, because they fear that if they do hold elections, This time hawamiri, because if I tell you kuti President Nelson Chamisa has got more votes than in the 2018 votes, because there are more people now sympathizing with him, basing on what is happening to him. And now is like Chamisa is being fought by every opposition is now fighting Chamisa. So at the end of the day, it leaves him to be a genuine opposition leader. So that alone, it's graph rake riri kungokwira every day. So the 2.6 million votes that he got in 2018 is going to double this time. Mark my words, Leader Estelle.
Absolutely.
Yes. As Emmanuel Nyakonda, it's a choice. Yes, it's a choice, but you are not given. That's the reason why you are seeing Kuti. They continue saying Kuti, you can't do this when you are not doing it. We are not being given a choice. We can't be forced to vaccinate. I can choose to vaccinate this year or next year or 2 years later. So you can't force me, and you can't tell me Kuti, I cannot do business. Just because I'm now by a Jackson. No. Yes, let's go ahead, Leader Estella.
Yes, Leader Sophie, welcome back.
Hi, Leader. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. It's actually ridiculous that, we have a situation where leaders force people to say that if you're not vaccinated, you cannot open and operate your table. It's everywhere around the world. It's a choice that you make. And I think our leaders need to start respecting of the citizens' opinion. They need to start respecting citizens of the country and not taking them for puppets. That you can tell them that you can't go and have, make your daily bread or conduct your businesses so that you can feed your children, but you have to be forced to do something. It will start there, but who knows where it will end. What then will they be telling us or forcing the citizens to do? So really, it's an absolutely ridiculous notion. And coming from a leader, it's a sad situation that we would have a leader like that in the country.
Yes. Would you like to move on to the next story after the CHIWENGA prohibiting vending?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. The alarming spike in the COVID-19 infections. So we have seen an increasing number in the COVID-19 infections. The last week, the numbers almost going to 1,000 infections per day. As you can see from the table that's showing in, the numbers, but funny enough, in Africa are where they are rising, but everywhere else they seem to be stabilizing and almost a bit under control. You can see there in Southeast Asia, the numbers are going down minus 21%. But in Africa, it's a whooping 39% in increase in infections. Zimbabwe had 971 reported infections on Friday. We had 801 yesterday, and the deaths had also gone up to an alarming 59. So if you look at the number of positive tests that are coming in versus the tests that are done, normally if we were to go back about a month ago, the tests were coming up to about only 1% of the positives that were coming in from the tests conducted. But as of yesterday, the number had gone up from 1% last month to 30%. So this is actually quite alarming. And if we look at our neighbors as well in South Africa, the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, has actually just had a family meeting with the country, and he has readjusted the country is going back up to level 4 of the COVID-19, the stages. So there will be no alcohol sales. It's been shut down. And their numbers as well also increasing. Yesterday, I think they had 19,000 new infections. So almost the same, similar things that are happening, to our neighbors is what we will see also happening to us. And people are justified in saying that even though we're recording almost 1,000 numbers daily, those numbers are severely underreported. So we know that we've got a ticking health time bomb. We've got the CEOs of Pareto Hospital and Pilo Central Hospital also coming out and saying, look, we told you that this is going to be a time bomb that is going to explode. And there are no hospital beds right now in Parenyato and Pilo. So, you know, really for a reminder for citizens, guys, let's mask up, let's be careful, let's practice good personal hygiene, washing hands, let's practice social distancing, let's do as much as we can to contain this, you know, the pandemic, and also to reduce the risk of the virus. Over, back to you, Leader Estella. I don't know if you want to say anything about the COVID-19 infections.
No, you did a good job, Leader Sophie. You covered everything that we had.
Yeah, maybe we can move on then to the ARTUZ protest, the hashtag burn the fraud. I think Leader Barbara, you're going to take us through that.
Okay. Okay. On that one, the Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union of Zimbabwe, ARTUZ, they've gone. They've, in fact, they've introduced the hashtag ban the fraud, and this one is quite an interesting one, whereby they are banning their pay slips in protest of the meager salaries that they are earning. It's so pathetic that our civil servants, they are earning peanuts, and you know, it's so embarrassing to see a teacher living a life of a beggar, a life of a destitute. Tinashe Taka is saying, Ed, me, can someone send a link? We want to hear what Tinashe has got to say. Yeah, can someone send a link to Tinashe Taka? We welcome him. Can you send him a link so that he can join us? Yes.
I can
So I was saying
your Facebook. What is it called? In Facebook, the messenger. I'll send to your messenger on Facebook.
Okay, can you send him, please? Thank you. So we're saying, good, the teachers, they've now resorted, because they are not allowed to gather, they are not allowed to demonstrate, all their rights are thwarted left, right, and center. So they've embarked on a campaign, a hashtag, ban the fraud. They are saying, good, the salaries that are earning is utterly fraud, because the government officials are busy looting the monies that are supposed to be going or to be channeled towards their salaries. This is a very powerful campaign, I must say. So I saw videos of teachers burning their payslips. I don't know whether, Leader Estella, do you have one video just to show our viewers and listeners? Some might not have seen those videos. You know, I found this campaign to be very, very, very powerful. Yeah, and it's sending a very powerful message as well. It's like burning a flag. If you see someone burning a country flag, you know what was wrong to Chaka Chai. Yeah? Do you have a video, Leader Estelle?
Unfortunately, Leader Barbara, we couldn't get that one. It would have been really nice. Yes.
Okay. Maybe we'll show them as we go along. If we find the video, we'll play that video. We can move on to the next story, Leader Sophie.
Barbara, I would like to tell Tinashe Taka that I've sent the link to his messenger, Facebook Messenger.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. The next topic that we're looking at is the MDC Alliance and its plans on trouncing ZANU PF in the rural areas in the next election. I think, Leader Barbara, you're taking us through that.
No, you can go ahead.
Yes, it was by a statement given by Mr. Chidziwa on the 1 million campaign. And he was saying that in the rural areas, people are done with ZANU PF. People are now rooting for MDC Alliance. And he's confident that if we are to have an election any moment, MDC Alliance will trounce ZANU PF resoundingly. But he also raised two issues that the people in the rural areas keep repeating, that you know, they are not safe, they are not secure where they are in the rural areas. They have been targeted in past elections. As we go towards the elections, they have been targets of ZANU terror, and they know that this will definitely come, especially once ZANU-PF knows that they, people are done with them and they now want to, to change their vote. And so they were urging MDC Alliance to look for solutions, how they can protect the people in the rural areas so that they don't need to be intimidated into voting against their own preferences, and also to protect the vote after after people have voted, to protect the vote and the voters as well. As we remember, 1 August 2018, people were shot after the election results were announced. So he pointed out that those are the concerns of the people. They are ready to vote for Chamisa, but then they have those concerns which are very real. So all of us, we need to put our heads together and try to figure out how we can, counter that issue, which we know is definitely coming from ZANU-PF terror. I don't know if my leaders have anything to add to that story, or we move on to the next one.
Let's move on.
No, I think you've covered it beautifully, Leader Estella. The next topic we're looking at is the Research Advocacy Unit dubbing Zimbabwe the most violent country in the SADC region.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay.
And tell us.
Yes. The Research Advocacy Unit carried out some research in the countries in the SADC region, and they found that at the moment Zimbabwe is the one which has the highest rate of especially politically motivated violence in the country. And the one following after Zimbabwe was South Africa, which is a surprise, because South Africa has always taken the lead in terms of violence. But now Zimbabwe has overtaken South Africa, and it has the worst cases of violence in the SADC region. And they pointed out that the difference between the violence they found prevalent in Zimbabwe to that which is prevalent in South Africa is that in South Africa it is mainly riot-related violence perpetrated by rioters. But in Zimbabwe, sadly, it is government-enabled violence, and I think that's what makes it worst. Yeah, and
Absolutely, you're right, quite right. In South Africa, it's more of riot and protest-related violence, whereas in Zimbabwe, it's the government unleashing violence on its citizens. So that is quite concerning. Barbara, can you take us through the government suspending the issuing of IDs for O and A-level candidates in our next topic?
Yes, maybe to start with, I think we will have to see the photos or the videos of what transpired. The government announced that on the 25th and 26th of June, 26th and 27th of June, all level students were to go and acquire their identity documents so that they can sit for their O levels. And as it showed that most students had no IDs. So most students, they answered to that call. They went in their numbers in all the towns and cities that were designated for those ID allocations. So it was chaos, I tell you. Students were complaining. Some slept in queues. Some went there as early as 2 a.m., but they did not get the IDs. They also cited issues of corruption, where people were paying fees like 20 or 30 US dollars, bribing the officials so that they can jump the queues. So let's see how some cities were like yesterday. So we hear that the government ended up suspending the exercise, And the reason why they did this, because also the civic society groups and the opposition MDC alliance, they found an opportunity of conscientizing these students to go and register. As soon as they got their ID, they were encouraged to go and register to vote. So ZANU PF yakavheyatya manje zvanzi vese vana ava vese ava, which means they were opposition, because all those pupils were disgruntled. So they had to suspend the exercise, which is very unfortunate. Maybe we can now have a look at the photos of how these students or pupils were affected.
Yes, that is one picture from which area was that, Leader Barbara?
Makoni district.
Okay. Okay, then we also have a video clip from Bulawayo, just showing the numbers of all and A-level students who showed up to get their IDs. And another one.
No, you wanted to ask.
Yes. So there you have it.
Yes. Also, can you also show us the tweet by President Nelson Chamisa concerning these queues?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get that one. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But let me see if I can fish it out from somewhere.
Yeah, it's on that on that group. Whilst I comment about the pictures. The last picture was in Harare. I think you also the queue. Harare was the west. The queue was it was long, and in another clip they were complaining that the queues were not moving. There was corruption. The officials they were corrupt. They were accepting bribes. And how many people can afford to bribe all those officials? And can you all bribe them so that you get a mere identity document? That is your right. You know, in other countries, you can just apply that one online and it's sent to you. You don't even have to queue for that ID. You don't have to queue for a passport. You apply online and it's sent to you through post. So you see, ZANU PF is holding on to these documents because they know kuti ndidzo dzinokwanisa kuabvisa mupower. Only an ID can remove a government into power. They know kukosha kwe ID. So it's up to us, the citizens, to demand kuti ma IDs can they be online? Because even President Chamisa said kuti hanzi the government hanzi should be, or hanzi tinofana kunge tiri online, not in lines. We should not be seen in queues, but we must be seen online doing technological. I liked that tweet because if you can't if you kana zvisina kunyaso kukupinda, you will think what kind of a statement is this? But what he merely said, he was saying, President Chamisa was saying, we don't need to be in lines, but we need to be online, meaning kuti tinofana kufambirana nenguwa, tinofana kuita zvinhu zvedu online, kwete kuti in line. I found that to be a very, very powerful tweet. We can, I think, someone can come in, or we move on to the next topic.
Yes, I think we move on to the next topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Next topic, comic pastor. I think we have a video on that.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Let me just.
If we comic pastor weighing in on the beef, in the hip hop circles, and also his hip hop input. You know, everyone wanted to see who's the king. So him weighing in, you know, positively with his hip hop.
tinokurudzira kuti vanhu varejiste kuvhota first. So this song starts handena pekutanga, just pekutanga ndopega patinokurudzira. I encourage all young ghetto youth to go register to vote. Ndo chatiri kukurudzira. Muri just pekutanga
Is that in echo?
Absolutely, there is message telling kuno vota. Quite encouraging, and the youths are coming out. They're not disappointing. You saw the long queues there when they're trying to get their IDs. Those IDs were not to register to write O and A-level exams. They know what they're doing, and they're ready to receive the baton and carry on with the race. So it's quite encouraging. You know, we've got the artists coming in, encouraging youths kuno vota, and youths lining up to get their ID documents to vote. So I think our future's in good hands. Quite encouraging.
Yes, Sophie. I was quite impressed with what Comic Faster did, because you know, when we talk politics from a political perspective, we tend to leave the youths out because we don't include stuff that attracts them to want to come in and listen to us. But something like what the Comic Pastor did, weighing in on a beef between two big youth artists, and just telling them that, hey, stop fighting, go and vote. We are not each other's enemies. Let's go and vote and fight the enemy. So it's a language which I think young people can relate to in form of a rap song, which is comical, but it's addressing real issues that that they are heavily involved in, that they are very interested in hearing. So I was quite impressed with the Comic Pastor there.
Absolutely.
Song yacho yakabaka. When I first heard this song, I thought it was going on and on and on, and then I was like, kunovota. Yes, people should go and register to vote in 2023.
Version iri longer, but ipapo ndo pakashira kuti tipanzwe ipapo pari important pacho.
That's very powerful.
Absolutely, thank you so much. Quite encouraging. Yes, we support and we value. We want to see that. We want to see more and more of that. Right, moving on into some in-house, social topics, social notices, and it is with deep sadness that we announce the following deaths within the MDC Alliance circles. We announced Cecilia Marova, the Deputy Organizing Secretary for the Youth Assembly. Her father, unfortunately, passed on. Netai Marova, yes, her father passed on. We also have Rita Ndlovu, who is an NEC member, who also lost her father. MP P. Dube, unfortunately, lost his wife as well. So yeah, our hearts go out, especially to the families concerned, and we also say rest in peace, in eternal peace, to those who passed on. And we are with you in heart and spirit. Okay.
Yes. That was very unfortunate. The MDC family is mourning. We all know Netai Marova, leader Stella. There's a video yevanhu vari kurufukwa naNetai, maybe kuti vanhu vaone kuti support yaari kupiwa nemhuri yeZimbabwe yakanyanya sei. Netai Marova is one of the girls that were tortured, abducted, sexually harassed by the security personnel Yam Nangagwa. We all know what happened in 2020. you know, these girls, they went through a lot, and now she's lost her father, and she was very close to her father. You know, it's very, very unfortunate. And also we saying the leader Netsai Marowa is also with Change Radio. She's one of our managers in Change Radio, finance manager. She's doing a very, very wonderful job in Change Radio. There is our obituary in Change Radio, signed by Minister Clifford Tlachoayo and Tawanda Dokora Shoshe, saying, "Kuti hands rest in peace, Mr. RG Marowa, leader Netsai Marowa." On behalf of all Change Radio staff and listeners across the globe, we would like to extend our deepest and heartfelt condolences to you and your family. May the Almighty give you strength to go through this very difficult period. Our prayers is Change Radio with you at this moment. Yeah, tiri kuchema nemhuri yekwamarowa, and also our national executive member, Comrade Rita Ndlovu, lost her father in Silobwela. Rita Ndlovu is former senator in Bulawayo, Nkulumane Sebab. Also, our MP in Gwanda, Honorable P. Dube, lost his wife. So you can see it's not rosy in the MDC Alliance family. Tiri kuchema, tarasikirwa. May their souls rest in peace. Mweya yawo ngaizorore murugare, imoya wabo kaulale ngoxolo. Silahlekele kakhulu njengemuli ye-MDC Alliance. Sikhala lemuli yakoMarowa, sikhala lemuli yakoNdlovu, sikhala njalo lemuli yakoDube. Siyabonga.
I have the video which you wanted me to play, Leader Barbara. If I can go ahead now.
Yes, please, Leader Stella.
Yes, those were the people, MDC Alliance family, waenda kunotaudza mhuri yekwamarowa, particularly Netsai Marowa, who is also the national deputy organizing secretary of the Youth Assembly. She is a leader par excellence. We all mourn with Netsai Marowa. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Leader Barbara. Definitely, we mourn with the families of all who have lost their loved ones. And yeah, I think what they would have wanted was to see us going forward and with our fight for change. And going on with that fight for change, can I ask you again, Leader Barbara, just to close for us with the new album launched by Mama Zore.
Yes. Our leaders, our viewers and listeners, I think we are now going to the end of our program, News Review, where we're giving you the news, all the news that happened from Monday up to this day. So we were giving you news there 1 week, yes, in just 1 hour. I think we've tried our best. I think you've gained a lot. I know some of you dzimwe news dzakakudarikai, but wamwedu tanga tiri pamwe chete. Our listener who was supposed to join us, we can't see him, but we sent him the link because Change Radio is the people's radio, changing lives, changing ideas, changing communities. So we would like to interact with our viewers and listeners, because ndimi anwacho. So Paul Madzore, we all know him, the revolutionary singer, MDC Alliance provincial organizer wekuharare, muimbi mukuru, muimbi ane mukurumbira, anoimba zvine udzamu, aburitsa imwe hanzi album inonzi chiine chishona, damba refu rake rinonzi Menya Mauro, hanzi Menya Mauro volume 14. Paul Madzore vathandekayo usekipe isidlalado sakhe esitsha esithwa Menya Mauro volume 14 is gonna be launched on the 29th of June. And as I was speaking with him, he was saying kuti 29 June is his birthday, so he's decided to launch his album on his birthday. And tell you what, our viewers and listeners, we're gonna bring Paul Madzore soon after this news review. He is coming live on Change Radio and ZIMI. Please stay put. We are bringing Paul Madzore ne album yake itsva inonzi Menya Mauro volume 14. Hanzi kwatabva kure, kana mukaona munhu akuzoita volume 14, it means kuna volume 1 ka, kuna 2, kuna 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 13, and tapa volume 14 achingoimba nziyo dzechimurenga dzino-inspire, dzinoita kuti vanhu varambe vari muspirit ye-struggle. We are going to play you nzwisa yachona, one song that is imimi mune rombo rakanaka. You are the first people to hear this song. Hapana vamwe watoinzwa song iyi. So you are the first people. Please subscribe to YouTube ya Paul Madzore. You just click on YouTube Paul Madzore, and then you subscribe. Please subscribe, like, so that these songs, they go far. Please share. Musa Nyimana, don't be selfish. Share with other people so that the music can inspire a lot of people everywhere, not only in Zimbabwe, but all over the world. Hanzi, thank you, ladies. Na Emmanuel Nyakonda, thanks so much. Hanzi, may his soul rest in peace. Na Providence Mutize. Hanzi, thanks again for tomorrow. Please, Christopher Nyoni, stay put. You are going to bring Paul Madzore right now. Hanzi chamu shiri dzinodya. We appreciate the great and excellent work that you are doing. We also appreciate the great and excellent work that you viewers are doing, just to see us talking. You know, we really appreciate as Change Radio, as ZIMI. We appreciate you so much. You are special. You are wonderful. Please don't forget to go and register to vote. Those that are in diaspora 2023, make it a point that when the election date is announced, take a holiday, go home and vote, because they will not give us a diaspora vote. So please, 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 Hanzina Professor Mapendere, this government is clueless. How can a government claiming to make profit or surplus failing to provide a basic right like ID cry my beloved nation? Yes, Professor, this is one of our DJs in Change Radio is supporting us right through. Arikuti hanzi sure government iri clueless. Inotadza kuisha zvinhu zviri basic like an ID, passport atitotauri. So please listen to Paul Madzore's new album.
Hello, Leader Barbara. Leader Barbara.
I think Leader Barbara, we've lost Leader Barbara there, but I just want to add on, Leader Estella, before you put in the video, just to remind viewers of the toll-free number to get voter registration information. The number is 08080219. So you can call, get information on where the registration centers are, what you need to bring in, or any other information. 0808-0219. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Leader Sophia. It's important that we always remind our voters to register to vote and where they can get the information to register to vote. Thank you so much. So I think we can conclude our news review with Paul Madzore's new song, Denga Rina Mambo, I think is the name of the song.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching. Good night.
So much. Enjoy. Bye.
leadership yeMDCT
Hanzi,
yakatungamirirwa naYvonne Sarurwa vasvika kumba kwangu inini tungamirai madzokere vakandiudza kuti kubuda kwangu kwandakaita mujeri inyaya yakapindirwa navamonzora sekondisheni yavaitira kuti vanga vachisapota amendment number 2. Izvi zvabva zvanditaridza kuti muZimbabwe mungori neinjustice nekuti zvakutaridza kuti makotsi haasi independent, anoinfluenced neexecutive nelegislator, which is not the case. Isusu constitution yatakanyora ndekuti makotsi anofanirwa kuzvimiririra oga, parliament ichizvimirira yoga, executive necabinet ichizvimirira yoga, kwete kuti executive necabinet kana kuti parliament nemasenator vange vachiinfluenza majudgments. Saka izvi zvinongobudisa pachena kuti muZimbabwe hamuna rule of law. Inini handingazvigamuchire kuti hanzi ndaburiswa nenyaya yekuti paita political intervention.
inini handidi kubuda mujeri nenyaya yepolitical intervention. Ndinoda kubuda mujeri nokubudiswa pachena kuti handina mhaka yandakapara, sezvandakafarira pakabudiswa nejudgment naRita Makarau pamwe chete naJustice Gwanzura namai Mavhangira. Judgment iyo yakandinakidza, yakandifadza nekuti yanga iri scholarly uye ichibudisa pachena. Ndo zvandinoziva kuti zvakandibudisa mujeri uye nekupindira kwakaita Mwari Baba, nekuti majaji akazongoita maspokesperson chete. Mwari wangu naJesu wangu vanga vatogara vataura kare kuti ndibude mujeri nekuti zvanga zviri pachena kuti hapana mhaka yandakapara. Izvi hazvina kundifadza nekuti ava vamwe vangu vazoenda pasocial media vachiti tiri kungufangwa kunge ndichivajoina. Handizvo zvatawirirana. Ini ndavaaccepta kumba kwangu because they are my fellow friends. Nenyaya yekuti Yvonne Musarurwa was my co-accused and a friend for a long time. Even kuMDCT ukoko, they are my friends for a long time. There is a difference between being a friend and a political ally. Because as human beings, we are political animals, at the same time we are social animals. Saka inini, I cannot cut my social relationships because taita my political opinions anenge akasiyana. Ini ndinongoramba ndingogamuchira vamwe vangu nekuti vaikaramba vachindishanyirawo chero ndiri kujeri, handivarase. Anondishanyira kumba handimurase. Handingatadze kuwirirana nevanhu veMDCT. Ini ndikwanisa kutombowirirana nevamwe vanhu veZANU-PF zviri socially tichipikisana zviri politically. Izvi ngazvive very clear. Inini leadership yandinotemba nayo iyi leadership yaPresident Nelson Chamisa. Zvinotozikanwa even neveKuZANU-PF kuti vanoziva kuti the only person who can deliver people from the bondage iri kukonzereswa neZANU-PF is MDC Alliance ichitungamirwa naNelson Chamisa. Chero vaMugabe chaivo vasati vashaika during the JNU vakataura vakati Minister Chamisa pavanga vari kuICT vakamuti supersonic minister. Even pari kupinda hurumende itsva izvezvi nemhaka yekuti Mnangagwa is coming to be an opposition leader. Even Mnangagwa achataurawo kuti Chamisa is a...
Yes. Thank you so much for playing that video. Yatunga. Yes, he was dismissing what Yvonne Musarurwa, the national youth leader, where kwa MDC T Yamonzora, saying kuti they went and visited Tunga, and Tunga said he's gonna be with them. So Tunga is clear there kuti I'm with MDC Alliance inotungamirwa na Nelson Chamisa. Thank you so much, our viewers and listeners. And thank you, leaders, na ladies, na Emmanuel Nyakonda. Christopher Nyoni says, thanks again for tomorrow. Yes, Hanzi na Chamu, we appreciate the great. Yeah, I read this one. Hanzi na Gladys make my leader there. Hanzi, many thanks, leader Babs. Thank you so much, leader Gladys. Hanzi, I need a link for your radio station. Norman, there is the link on the screen. I hope you get it. Hanzi, big boy Chinojga, more fire sisters. Thank you so much. Hanzi na ladies make many thanks, leader Babs and crew. Thank you too, my leader. Goodbye. See you now. We are coming back with an interview with Paul Madzore live on Change Radio and ZimI. My crew, Sophie and Estella, thank you so much, my leaders, for being with me. Goodbye. Thank you.
Good night.
He wasn't listening.